In honor of the release of the upcoming Halo 4, I'm making this series to help people understand the complexity of what lies behind the gameplay of the Halo franchise. This episode is going to be about my main man to Master Chief. Well, actually it's more about what Master Chief is, and it's obvious he's earned the title Demon. But let's look into what made him. It all started with the Orion project, which would later be known as the Spartan 1 program. At the height of the program, there was a total of 300 operational Spartans. Spartan 1s were all made up of volunteers from the Navy's very best soldiers. They received the most cutting-edge training and all received biochemical augmentations to turn them into super soldiers. The chemicals gave the Spartans superhuman strength, greater heart capacity, superhuman hearing, and the ability to see in low light conditions. Their brains were also enhanced to make them learn faster and better, and to also have enhanced motor skills, thus giving them better control of their muscles. They, however, didn't wear any special armor. The Orion project was created to help bring an end to the civil war that raged between the inner colonies and the outer colonies. One of my favorite Spartan ones, possibly yours, Sergeant Johnson. Aw yeah! Because of his augmentations to his brain, he formed a natural resistance to being infected from the Flood. That's how he survived the first Halo. Since the Spartan program was secret, they came up with a disease dubbed Borin syndrome. When the fighting became too intense, a solution was needed, and that's when Dr. Halsey stepped up to the plate. Her Spartan 2 program would prove to be much more radical than the first and would bend the very fabric of her own morality. Convinced that this is what must be done in order to end the Civil War and save millions of lives, the green light was given and the super top secret Spartan 2 program was underway. Unlike the first program, these Spartans were not volunteers. Instead, Dr. Halsey needed an extremely small specific range of DNA types that would help ensure the highest survival rate for the dangerous enhancements that she had planned. That meant going around the outer colonies and snatching up 4 to 6-year-old children and replacing them with flash clones so their parents wouldn't know about it. Only 75 children met the requirements, and after training on the planet Reach for 6 years, learning military tactics and teamwork, they went through their augmentations. Because of the radicalness of the very experimental procedures performed on them, 30 of the children died and 12 became crippled. The Spartan 2s received highly advanced versions of what the first Spartans received, as well as growth hormones, and having their bones covered in ceramic carbide, which made them virtually unbreakable. This was done so that their bodies could withstand using the newly developed Mjolnir armor. Originally designed to fight in the Civil War, the Spartan 2s were extremely effective in fighting the Covenant, most notably being John 117, the Master Chief. My main man. Because of the greatness of their success, the Spartan 2 program was made known, but not all the details released, to help boost morale in a seemingly unending, unwinnable war against a genocidal Covenant. To make the Spartans appear undefeatable, they were never listed as killed in action. They were only listed as missing or wounded in action. A second class of Spartan 2s were never made since the cost was so high and too few Spartans were ever produced. That led to the effort to produce the cheaper, quote-unquote, throwaway Spartan 3s. These Spartans received the same enhancements, but with newer technology, the mortality rate dropped from 56% to 0. The newer, cheaper Spartans sported a variant of armor that was considered technically better than ODST, but not nearly as powerful as Mjolnir armor. The Spartan 3 semi-powered infiltration armor, or spy armor, focused more on stealth than power. The Spartan 3s were still trained from the age of 6, but they were all orphans, and each one was asked if they wanted to take revenge for their parents, and if they would like to volunteer. Still, the Spartans were sent on missions with expected mortality rates of 100%. But were deemed worth the price to slow down the ever-advancing front line of the Covenant onslaught. So far, little is known about Spartan 4s, except that they are made from adult volunteers who have been augmented to be able to wear Mjolnir armor. They are stationed on the UNSC Infinity and participate in virtual training war games on the ship simulator, which contains tech pulled from the slip space bubble that was inside the planet Onyx, where the Spartan 3s were trained. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments or questions below and subscribe to make sure you don't miss a single video. Have a nice day, meow.